Hi there, gorgeous, and a very happy Frugal Friday to you. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I make videos like this every Friday focusing on drugstore makeup. I also make videos on Mondays and Wednesdays on other topics here and there. So if you'd like to be notified of new content in the future, please subscribe. And thank you if you do. Today I'm sharing a full review with you for the E.L.F. Bite Size palettes. These retail for $3 a piece, so they are incredibly inexpensive. I'll be showing you each one individually up close today with swatches and mini tutorials for every single palette, and I will let you know if any of them are worth checking out or not. First palette we have to talk about here is the one called Hot Jalapeno. This is such a cool palette. I love the colors in here. A lot of beautiful greens and a pop of yellow. The green that I applied in the crease looked a tad darker once I got it onto my eye, and it looked a little different than what it had looked like in the pan, so I was a little disappointed in that. But for the most part, the other colors in this palette performed really well and looked exactly like they did in the pan once I got them on my eyes. By the way, if you're interested in the lashes and the lipstick combinations that I'm pairing up with each of the looks I'm sharing with you here today, I'll have all that information listed for you below in the description box so you can reference it now or in the future. Overall though, I was most happy with this little jalapeno palette, and I feel like if you're into greens, you would absolutely love this one. The next one I have to share with you is the one called Cream and Sugar. This is a very simple, neutral palette, not really exciting in terms of the color range. And to be honest with you, when I first started using it and I was putting the look together for this video, I wasn't feeling it. I was like, I really don't care for these colors. It wasn't wowing to me. But what's interesting is that once the whole look came together, and this happens to me quite often with eyeshadow, and so I never really judge a look until it's all completed, I actually really loved it once I got the full face done. And it was one that I didn't want to wash off. So despite my not liking the colors initially, I really did love how all of them melted together in the final look. This next palette is called Pumpkin Pie, and this is a very warm, neutral palette. And the color payoff is incredible. Once again, didn't struggle with any of the eyeshadows in this palette. And this particular color arrangement alone is really good for those who have blue and green eyes. The coppers and the red browns really help to emphasize that eye color and draw them out. That was another one where I wasn't feeling the colors initially, but once I got them on and I saw everything come together, I did not want to wash the look off. And I love how all those colors came together. And the next palette I have to share with you is the one called Carnival Candy. This one was a lot of fun to create a look with. I almost wanted to apply that blue directly on the lid because it was such a beautiful shade of blue. It's a very jewel-toned sapphire. But I felt like that was too easy. Instead of doing that, I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I made the look a lot more neutral with all of the warmer based browns applied first. And then I used the blue as an eyeliner and created a smoky wing on the upper lash line. And I really love how that look came together. When I try this palette in the future, I do want to apply that blue on the lid and the neutral in the crease just to see what it would look like, because I'm sure that's going to be such a beautiful combination. I just wanted to show you something a little different from what you might expect me to do with that palette, and I really, really love using that blue as an eyeliner. Acai is the next palette I have to share with you, and this one really surprised me because online it looks like it's going to be a purple palette, and I had a lot of you tagging me on Instagram when these were first released asking me to review this specifically for this purple palette. But when you get it in person, it's blue. There are 3 blue shades in here and 1 purple, so it's quite deceptive. What I did not care for with this palette, besides the color range, because that really threw me for a loop, I did not care for how the eyeshadows muddied together. Once you get the whole look together, you can see what I'm talking about here. It looks like one flat color on the eyes, and this color is not flattering for me personally, so it looks like my eyes are bruised. But I was disappointed to see that. When I'm applying eyeshadow, I want to see all of the different colors individually on my eyes. Blended, of course, but I still want to see every color I applied, and that wasn't the case here. So I was really disappointed in this one, both from a color perspective and a quality perspective. Last palette I have to share with you is the one called Very Bad. And if you've been curious about what's on my eyes in today's video, this is the look that I'm wearing here today. So I'll show you how to recreate it here in a few seconds. This is a very warm palette with a beautiful pop of copper, cranberry, and deep wine. But despite the pigmentation being really good with this palette, I didn't struggle with getting any of these eyeshadows onto my eyes. I was disappointed in the final look with this one, simply because, like the Acai U palette that I just talked about, the colors start to muddy together, and there's no real difference between each shade once you get them onto your eyes. It just starts to look like one solid color. So again, unfortunately, I really love the color range here, and I wanted it to be really good. It just didn't meet my expectations from what I usually experience with E.L.F. eyeshadow products. Out of all the palettes I shared with you here today from E.L.F., I was most happy with the first 4. The last 2 were the ones that disappointed me because of how the colors muddied together. And it doesn't matter what primer you've used. I've used 2 different ones with these and still got the same kind of muddying results. So I think it's just the way that the eyeshadow is. If you don't mind that, then I think you would really love them from a quality perspective because they are really good. So just keep that in mind. If you're interested in any of these palettes, I'll try to have all of them listed and linked for you below in the description box. Let me know your thoughts. If you've had the opportunity to try them out, feel free to share your experience below. Which one was your favorite? I think out of all of them, oh goodness, it's hard for me to pick just one, but the ones that I love the most would have to be the cream and sugar and the hot jalapeno. Those were just, oh, yes. Thank you so much for being here, for taking the time to watch. I want to wish you a wonderful weekend ahead. I know we're all staying inside. We haven't been out, gosh, for like, what, 8 days now? So yeah, woo, trying to keep busy, but you know, I've always been a homebody, so it doesn't really bother me, to be honest with you. Anyway, stay safe, stay healthy out there, thinking of all of us, praying for all of us, and I look forward to seeing you again next week.